You know what separates a winning trader from a losing one? It isn't intelligence. It isn't education. Hell, some of the smartest men I ever knew went broke in the market. The real difference is something most people never want to hear. They're trading against themselves. Their worst enemy isn't the market. It's the face staring back at them in the mirror every morning. They call me the boy plunger. Jesse Livermore. I've made fortunes that would shame a king and lost them just as fast. I've bought yachts and mansions, and I've been so broke I couldn't afford a proper meal. I've had Wall Street kneel before me, and I've watched it crush me without mercy. And after all these years, after all the money won and lost, I'll tell you a truth no one wants to accept. If you're still not profitable, it's not the market's fault. It's yours. You're making the same mistakes I made when I was losing. The same mistakes every struggling trader makes. But here's the difference between those who make it and those who disappear. These mistakes can be fixed, every last one of them, but only if you've got the guts to face the truth. Most traders come into this game thinking they need more information, more indicators, more news, more tips from some social media prophet. But that's not your real problem. Your problem is simpler and far harder to fix. You don't understand yourself yet. You don't know your weaknesses, and until you do, the market will keep teaching you lessons that cost money. I learned this the hard way. Made my first $1,000 in a bucket shop when I was 15. Thought I was a genius. Turned it into 10,000, then 20,000, and lost it all. Why? Because I thought winning was about being right. I thought it was about proving something. But the market doesn't care about your ego. It doesn't care about your opinions. It's a cold, indifferent mechanism that will take everything if you let your emotions steer the wheel. That's the first truth you must accept. You're trading with scared money, and scared money never wins. I can see it in your behavior. You open a position and immediately check it every 5 minutes. Your heart races, your palms sweat. You're not trading a system. You're trading your anxiety. When the position moves a few points against you, you panic and cut it. When it moves in your favor, you grab profits too early because you're scared of losing them. That's not trading. That's self-inflicted torture. I knew a man once, an accountant, brilliant with numbers. He studied the market for years before placing a trade. His first trade was perfect, right direction, right timing. But he sold at 2% profit because he was terrified of losing. The stock went up 40% in the next 2 months. He tried to chase it, bought the top, and rode it back down. Lost more in that one trade than he'd made in the first. Why? Because he was trading money he couldn't afford to lose. Rent money, bill money, dream money. Here's the ugly truth about money. If you need the money, you cannot trade it. The moment that money has emotional weight, you're beaten. Judgment fogs. Hope replaces thinking. And hope is the most expensive emotion in this game. You must trade money that means nothing to you emotionally. I don't mean be reckless, I mean be detached. When you take a position, you should feel nothing. No excitement, no fear, just cold calculation. If you can't do that, you're not ready. Go back to paper trading until you can look at a $5,000 loss the same way you look at a misplaced pen. Here's another truth. You're not following your system because you don't really have one. Oh, you think you do. You've got rules written somewhere. Maybe you follow them occasionally. But when pressure hits, when real money is on the line, you abandon that system like a rat fleeing a sinking ship because you never truly believed in it. You never tested it enough. You never trusted it through the losing streaks. If you want to know the signs that you're finally turning the corner, watch my video on the 5 signs you're becoming a profitable trader. It'll show you the mindset shifts that have to happen. I built my method over years of watching, waiting, recording. I filled notebooks with price movements, patterns, behavior. I didn't stumble on a system. I built it brick by brick, loss by loss. And even after it worked, I still had to battle myself every day. The urge to overtrade, to revenge trade, to get fancy and try something new out of boredom. And boredom, that's another silent killer. Real trading is boring. Profitable trading is waiting, watching, and doing nothing until the perfect moment appears. But most traders can't sit still. They need action, so they force trades that aren't there. They convince themselves a mediocre setup is good enough. I once went 6 weeks without taking a single trade. The others thought I'd lost my nerve. But I was waiting for my pitch, and when it came, I struck, made more in 3 days than they made all year. That's patience. That's discipline. That's understanding that the market will still be here tomorrow. But your capital won't be if you keep wasting it. You want to know what separates professionals from amateurs? It's not a secret strategy. It's not insider information. It's the ability to sit on your hands when there's nothing to do. The amateur thinks he must trade every day. The professional knows the best trade is often no trade at all. Now let's talk about the mistake that destroys more accounts than anything else. You can't take a loss. Not just closing one, but accepting it mentally. You treat losses as personal failures. So you hold losers, hoping they'll turn around. You average down, throwing good money after bad. You turn manageable losses into disasters. Listen carefully. Losses are the cost of doing business. They're tuition. I've had thousands of losing trades, but my winners were bigger. That's all that matters. Win rate means nothing. You can be right 30% of the time and get rich if you cut losses fast and let winners run. But most traders do the opposite. Small wins, huge losses. Why? Because taking a small win feels good, and watching a loss grow hurts, so you avoid the pain and invite destruction. Struggle with holding winners? Watch my video on Jesse Livermore's psychology of holding trades. It'll give you the framework you need. I remember shorting Union Pacific in 1906. Everything lined up, fundamentals, technicals, timing, but the stock kept climbing. I bled money every day, and I did nothing because I believed I was right. Eventually, the market proved me right, but I was nearly broke when it happened. Being right means nothing if you can't survive until the market agrees. The market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. That's why position sizing matters more than anything else. You think putting half your account into one trade is bold. It's not bold, it's stupidity. Because even if you're right 9 times out of 10, the one time you're wrong will destroy you. I never risked more than 10% on a single position. Never, especially when I was certain. Certainty is dangerous. The moment you're sure of something is when the market loves to humble you. Position sizing isn't about maximizing gains. It's about staying alive. Because losing streaks will come, and if you're too big, they'll wipe you out. Most traders wash out not because they can't read a chart, but because they couldn't control risk. I've seen geniuses go broke, and I've seen average men get rich simply because they never bet too big. The biggest lie in trading is this is a sure thing. There is no sure thing. Anything can happen. Wars, panics, news, death, disaster. The market owes you nothing. Here's the part most traders never learn. It's not just about avoiding big losses. It's about pressing your advantage when you're right. You don't average down. You average up. You add to winners, not losers. You get more aggressive when the market confirms you. That's how I made my biggest fortunes. Not by being right once, but by being right and pressing that edge with precision. Adding positions only when the market told me I was right. Planning each ADD. Knowing exactly where I'd exit. That's not gambling. That's controlled aggression. You aren't profitable because you're aggressive at the wrong time and timid at the right time. You bet big when you're losing, trying to win it all back, and bet tiny when you're winning, afraid to lose it. That's backwards. The market rewards patience, punishes emotion. Rewards discipline, punishes impulse. It rewards those who wait for their pitch and swing hard, and destroys those who swing at everything. Let me ask you something. Do you even know your edge? Can you define in one sentence what advantage you have in the market? Most traders can't. They trade on feelings, hunches, tips from someone who heard from someone else. That's not an edge. That's wishful thinking. My edge was pattern recognition and timing, built from thousands of hours of study, and even with that, I was wrong plenty. But I had a system for being wrong. Hard stops, not mental fantasies. When your stop hits, you exit. No negotiation, no hope, no bargaining. Rules aren't suggestions, they're survival. I knew traders with excellent systems who followed them for weeks, making money, disciplined, steady, until one day they decided this one trade would come back. And that one exception destroyed them. Ignore their stop. They'd override their system, and that one trade would wipe out weeks of gains, one single trade, all because they believed they were smarter than their rules. But you're not smarter than your rules. Those rules were created when you were calm, rational, and thinking clearly. In the heat of the moment, when money is on the line and emotions run hot, you're not thinking clearly. That's precisely when you need your rules the most, and that's when you follow them without hesitation. Here's another truth: you're probably overtrading. You think constant activity equals profit. You imagine the traders making fortunes are the ones jumping in and out of positions all day long. But that's not how real money is made. Real money is made through patience, by waiting for the high probability setups and then betting big when they appear. I might make 20 trades in an entire year that truly mattered. 20 out of hundreds of opportunities I passed on. I didn't trade because I was bored. I didn't trade because I felt like I needed to do something. I traded when the conditions were right, when the odds were stacked in my favor, when the path forward was unmistakably clear. The rest of the time I waited, I watched, I studied. Trading isn't a job where you get paid for showing up. You don't earn money for activity. You earn money for being right at the right time. Nothing else matters. You want to improve your trading right now? Do this. Cut your trading frequency in half. Then cut it in half again. Force yourself to become selective. Stop taking mediocre setups. Stop trading out of boredom, out of anxiety, or because you feel pressure to act. Only trade when everything aligns, when the setup is so strong, so obvious that you'd put serious money behind it. And speaking of taking trades you shouldn't, FOMO is pro. Ably destroying more of your trades than you realize. That fear of missing out, that panic when you see a stock running without you, it pushes you to chase. It makes you enter at the worst possible moment. I've seen this destroy more accounts than I can count. If this sounds familiar, go watch my video on the deadly trap of FOMO and how to eliminate it. It will show you how to recognize when FOMO has you by the throat and what to do about it. Because like it or not, when you chase, you are betting real money on nothing but emotion. This isn't a game. This isn't practice. Every trade risks real capital, capital that took time, effort, and discipline to earn. Treat it with respect. Don't throw it away on weak opportunities because you crave action. The market will always give you opportunities. Always. It's been here for centuries, and it'll be here centuries more. But your capital is finite. Once it's gone, you're out. You're on the sidelines watching everyone else play. Is that the future you want? To be the person who could have made it, should have made it, would have made it, but didn't, because you couldn't control yourself? I've been broke multiple times. I know what it feels like to have nothing. To watch opportunity pass by because you no longer have the capital to act on it. It's the worst feeling in this business. Worse than losing money. Because when you're losing money, at least you're still in the fight. When you're broke, you're a spectator, watching moves you predicted, setups you recognized slip right through your fingers because you blew up your account. Don't let that be your reality. Protect your capital like your life depends on it, because in the trading world it does. Now I'll tell you something most people don't want to hear. Most of you won't make it. Not because you're not intelligent enough, not because you won't work hard enough, but because you can't control yourself, because you can't conquer your own psychology, because you keep tripping over your own emotions. But you could be different. You could be one of the traders who makes it. The potential is there. The opportunity is there. The market doesn't care about your background, your education, or your story. It only cares whether you can make good decisions under pressure, whether you can follow your rules, whether you can control your emotions. That's all that matters. Simple, right? But simple doesn't mean easy. Knowing what to do and actually doing it are two very different things. I knew what I should do long before I could do it consistently. It took years of painful lessons, of watching my own mistakes cost me fortunes, before I finally learned to step out of my own way. But you can learn faster than I did. You have tools and resources I never dreamed of. Technology, data, education, everything. What you need to build now is the mental discipline, emotional strength, and patience. Those haven't changed. Those will never change. Human nature hasn't changed in 100 years, and it won't change in 1,000 more. The market is a mirror of human nature. Greed, fear, hope, despair. These emotions have driven markets since the beginning of time, and they always will. Your job isn't to eliminate these emotions. You can't. Your job is to understand them, to recognize them in yourself and in others, and to profit from the patterns they create. When everyone else is greedy, you should be cautious. When everyone else is terrified, you should be bold. Sounds simple, but try doing it. Try being cautious while everyone around you is making money. Try being bold when the world feels like it's falling apart. That's when your discipline is truly tested. That's when you find out whether you've learned anything at all. I made my big. Sent money during panics. When fear ruled the market. When everyone was selling. I bought. Not because I was fearless, but because I'd seen the pattern. Panics end. Markets recover. Maximum pessimism is maximum opportunity. But I only profited from those moments because I still had capital. I hadn't blown myself up chasing worthless trades. I was patient. I waited. And when my moment came, I was ready. That's what I want for you, to be ready when your moment comes. And it will come. The market will hand you golden opportunities. The question is, will you have the capital to act? Will you have the discipline to execute? Or will you be like most traders, broke, watching from the sidelines, cursing your past decisions? It's your choice. The market doesn't care which path you take. It'll keep moving with or without you. But if you want to make it, you must start making different decisions. Stop doing what feels good. Start doing what works. Stop trading your emotions. Start trading your system. You must become someone different than you are today. More disciplined, more patient. Someone who can take a loss without flinching. Someone who can let a winner run without panicking. Someone who trades with their head, not their heart. Can you become that person? I don't know. Only you can answer that, but the first will tell you this. If you're willing to put in the work, confront your weaknesses and change, then yes, you can make it. You can be profitable. You can succeed in this game. But it starts with honesty. It starts with looking in the mirror and accepting the real reason you're not profitable yet. It's not the market. It's not your broker. It's not the institutions, the algorithms, or bad luck. It's you, your choices, your discipline, your emotions. And the good news? Those are all things you can change. You can't control the market, but you can control yourself. And, in the end, that's the only control that matters. I've given you the truth. What you do with it now is up to you. The market will open tomorrow. Opportunities will appear. The question is, will you be ready? Before you go, do one thing for me. Check out our other videos where we dive deeper into the strategies and mindset shifts that can transform your trading. And tell me in the comments which part of this message hit you hardest. What's the one change you're going to make starting today? I want to hear from you. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button and share it with another trader who needs the truth. And subscribe, because we're not here to sugarcoat anything. We're here to tell you what it really takes to succeed in this game. Now get out there and trade like you've got some sense.